Joining me now is Terry Lynch. He's the CEO of Power Nickel. And Terry, the last update we had from you was at PDAC, actually, and you talked about the Nisk project. But as of the end of April or so, you now own 80%. You completed that purchase. What does that do for you?
Well, it was always expected to come because that was part of our agreement. So it really doesn't do much psychologically. It puts us in control of the project, obviously, and we're the operator and have been since day one. So, and now we're just moving towards further exploration successes and moving toward a production decision. So that just makes it easier, I guess.
And you're bringing people on. I noticed that Dr. Steve Beresford was brought on. How does he fit into the picture?
Yeah, he's probably one of the foremost geological minds in terms of the field of polymetallic discoveries. He used to be chief geologist at First Quantum at MMG and chief geoscientist at IGO. So we contacted him once we made our initial discovery hole about a year ago, where we had the 8 meters of almost 1 ounce platinum group metals and 1.5% copper and some gold. And at that point we thought, while we have obviously the name like Power Nickel, we're a nickel sulfide predominant resource package at the moment. We saw this and thought, hey, maybe this is morphing into a polymetallic deposit. So we contacted him, and because I've been aware of his talents. My son actually had sent me a great video that he had done that seemingly described Nisk, even though it wasn't obviously Nisk that he was talking about. Anyway, started the dialogue, and when we started to hit the drill holes again in what we call the line zone in January, and we started to see immediate success visibly. I reached out to Steve and said, "Hey, I think this thing's really coming together." So he said, "Well, get me the assays." I did, and then we had a technical meeting, and he said, "Well, I think you really got one." So yeah, so we brought him on, and we hope to. He's coming over, and he'll help to guide us really on this next phase of exploration, because polymetallics are a different animal. Some of the biggest mines, most valuable mines in the world are polymetallic. In fact, the world's most valuable mine is Norilsk. The Russians, it's known as a nickel platinum palladium play, but has produced 20 million ounces of gold. So it's a very super rare to have a polymetallic discovery. But if you get one, you sort of have a tiger by the tail.
Oh, okay, but when you say they're different and a special beast, how so? Do you have to drill it in different angles and approach
No,
them?
no, no. I mean, it's just different from the composition of the metals. It's very in this case, in our case, we've been reporting very high copper percentages. Like our last hole on Monday was almost over 5% copper, but copper equivalent was like 9.5%. We've had 14% over 14 meters, 11% over 11 meters. Crazy numbers. And really rich copper and PGMs. So generally speaking, copper and PGMs aren't both rich. You'll have one that's rich and the other one just like a trace or the other, but never the two both being high. This is an anomaly. And in Mother Nature, in mining, if you have a high grade anomaly, that's a very good thing.
Okay. I saw that announcement, 15.4 meters at 9.5% copper. And I have to put that in context, if I could, in terms of what does that do for you commercially?
Well, I mean, it's just super valuable rock, right? I mean, for 43-101 reasons, we really can't talk about the value of the rock. But I mean, obviously, the denser the rock in terms of minerals and the values it carries, the more profitable the rock it is to process, right? So this rock is 10x times more profitable to process than most rocks you would find that still would be commercial. So it obviously, from a commerciality perspective, vaults the thing forward. This thing will be generating very high, profit margins when it's put in production, we believe. So that's been an enormous step forward for us.
Talk to me about that line discovery. I mean, in terms of the challenges, is it close transportation? Are there other issues?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably one of the most easiest deposits I've ever worked with. It's literally off the road of in Quebec. It's Nemaska is a regional village, has a regional airport, home of the Cree government. We're located off of Route North, which is a major highway at that point, three lanes. We drive off the road. It's at the surface. This deposit is at the surface. Starts at 5 meters. At this point, it's down to about 275 meters, but it's is literally about as good as it gets in terms of mining terms.
Wow. Jurisdictionally, will this be an open pit mine then?
Yeah, it would be open pit initially. This particular chute that we're working on is about 225 meters wide, 100 meters being the primary meat zone, 50, 75-meter halo on either side. And it's at this point extends about 275 meters deep. Would expect, this is the Archean belt, and somewhat like the Abitibi. It shoots like this typically run 8 to 10 times their width. So we'd expect there to be considerable more ground, more mineralization to discover underneath this. And also historically, these types of chutes are not onesies. If the geological event happened to make this one chute, it happened in an area, and it probably impregnated the chutes across the area. Steve Beresford feels that we'll find chutes that are, this one's copper dominated. He feels we'll find ones that are more precious metal dominated, others that'll be PGM dominated, and he predicts that we'll even find one that'll be more zinc dominated. So we'll see. So we're obviously that'll be the primary thing that we'll be doing in the shut summer is drilling out the remainder of this chute and looking for the chutes that we think will be close by.
I want to come back to that summer exploration that goes forward, but the province of Quebec, is that a friendly jurisdiction?
Best jurisdiction in the world, in my view, for three reasons. One is they've done a tremendous job over the years, the government of Quebec, of building infrastructure regionally throughout the province. So the route north is a classic example. Like it's a major highway that connects most of the province in the north. Yet you don't have to build it; it's already there. So in our case, we just drive off the road, and there we are. Across the street from us, literally across the street, is a Hydro-Quebec substation. So you got power, you got roads. We're 8 kilometers outside of the town of Nemaska, which is a regional village. It's got hotels and accommodations where our staff can stay. It's also the home of the Cree government. That's the other thing that the Quebec government has done an amazing job of, is they've really worked with the First Nations to partner with them to make them understand the benefits of mining, how it could enrich their community and help their community stay together and grow and prosper. So that's been fantastic. And then finally, the fiscal terms in Quebec are unparalleled in the world. It's part of the Canadian story as well. Canadian federal government gives a 30% tax credit for critical mineral exploration now, which is awesome. And Quebec, basically taps it up with some programs that really bring it up to more than 100%. So we're often able to get 2-for-1 exploration deals. So if you look at our history of financing, generally speaking, we've raised money at 2 and 3 times our market price. Because we've been able to get the cash from the high net worth Quebec investors, and then we immediately sell it to our permanent investors through a structure called the charity flow through buyback, and it sort of allows the company to get double the exploration money, but puts the shares in permanent hands right out of the gate. So it's really a phenomenal structure, and it's Quebec has sort of pioneered it, I think.
Interesting. Back to the summer, how robust will the exploration be, and how quickly can you get on the land?
Yeah, so we're on goose break right now. There's 2 seasons you can't drill there: goose season and moose season. So it'll be over end of May, and early June we'll be back in there, and we've got pads set up, and we'll be drilling, the entire summer. So expect to get about, I would think, about 8,000 meters in this summer, 20 holes or thereabouts, and I think that'll be super productive. And then we'd expect to follow that up with a fall program of about another 15,000 meters. So we'll have 2 rigs turning, and we're really going to go at this thing.
Those goose and moose. Terry, thanks so much for your time.